everybody, I'm Catriona Morten, I'm a sensory motor psychotherapist, and today I'd like to talk to you about dissociation. Dissociation is normal. We're designed to do it, and it's in varying degrees that we do it. If we drive the same route to work every day, then sometimes we might switch off and we're thinking about something completely different, maybe what we're going to be doing at work or what we're having for dinner at night. And we don't need to concentrate on the journey with our full attention. We can switch off from it, and sometimes when we switch off from it and we're driving a familiar route to work, we might get to work and think, I don't remember much about that journey. I hope I didn't drive through any traffic lights, knowing that actually you haven't. You've done exactly the thing that you needed to do safely, the way you always do, just not with your full attention. Children daydream. They sit in classrooms and they're just drifting off. They've dissociated from what's happening around them. That's normal, and we've all got the ability to do that. This ability comes into its own when we get traumatized. When something kicks us out of our window of tolerance. We have a window that we can all cope with and stay present, stay thinking, stay functioning. When something knocks us out of that, something that's really shocking or frightening, then our brain switches into a completely different mode. So it bypasses our normal thinking process and goes into the survival, fight, flight or freeze. We don't have a choice about it, it just happens and it's instant. Now, when we've had early trauma, and the early traumas are lodged in our amygdala, our smoke detector, our alarm, when something about that experience, that traumatic experience, gets triggered, then it sets off the amygdala, our thinking brain goes offline, and we go into our fight, flight or freeze. Now, it can look like a lot of different things for different people. It's not they're dissociated. It can be quite hard to spot, because when we've had this for a long period of time, if we've had early trauma and we keep getting triggered with it, then we develop certain things that happen to us. And some people don't recognise it at all. And it's very hard to notice if you're triggered, because your frontal lobes have gone offline. You're not in the present moment at all. For some people, they actually get dissociated back into the trauma, and it's a terrifying place. For other people, they just go offline completely. It's in varying degrees, depending on which part of the trauma has been triggered, will depend on what happens to you in the presentation. If there's someone sitting in front of you and they've absolutely gone triggered and they've just disappeared, then you'll be aware that they're not looking at you, they're not talking to you, they can't. It's like they've just gone completely blank. And that state, for some people, can be instantaneous and then they're out of it. For other people, they can stay like it for hours. When things have been triggered, they tend to last for quite a long time, way longer than we think when we're back. For some people, the room might get blurrier. They're just not quite so aware. With some people, you can almost see them kind of shrinking, and you know that they're definitely not as present. Some people get a funny taste in their mouth, other people just feel completely numb, and others will have more audio or visual disturbances around for them. And what I always encourage people to do is have a bit of a checklist. So how can you tell if you're triggered? So the checklist can sound something like, am I dizzy or wobbly? Do my legs not work properly? Am I really hot or am I freezing cold? Is my mind catastrophizing about loads of different things? Can I not read a book, take anything in? Do I have to keep reading the same line over and over again? Can I function? Can I actually move? Can I think? Do things feel incredibly overwhelming, or do I have a sense of panic? Do things just seem really surreal or in slow motion? Can you see people's lips moving but you actually can't understand a word that they're saying? Do things seem far away? Can I not sit still? Is my body numb? Is it frozen? Just make a list for yourself. If you can have something, maybe on your phone or written down on your fridge, something that you can check in with, and if you tick off a few of those, okay, I'm dissociated, I've been triggered, I don't know why, I don't know what just happened, but I know I need to resource myself and get myself back, because you're out of your window. Your anxiety, even if you don't feel anxious, you just feel numb, your anxiety levels have gone up, and it's sent that message to your brain that something terribly wrong. So we need to bring it back down again, using whatever tools work for you. And so if you can do your checklist, you could maybe also have another checklist to say, okay, what helps? So that you practice these things and notice what starts to bring you back. For some people, it's like slapping and rubbing their legs. For some people, it's using their strength and to really get a sense of your muscles working. For other people, it might be sniffing essential oils like lavender or tea tree oil. For other people, it will be touching things, maybe really solid things, tapping them and seeing what noise they make, and just using whatever you know works. And that's just trial and experiment. That some things might make it more scary and some things will just make it less scary. Does it help you start to breathe? Can you get that out breath going just spontaneously? That's a really, really good sign. So knowing what you're up against, and also knowing that it is normal. It's a normal response. It's a normal safety mechanism we have. It's normal for the amygdala to look away these traumatic memories so we don't have to walk about with them all the time. And it's also normal for them to get triggered by something. And when our resilience is low, if you've not been well, if you're just feeling a bit under the weather, then we haven't got such a wide window and we might be more triggered in those days. So we have to be prepared to resource more and use more of the things that we know that work for us. Maybe not do quite as much on those days. But just to know that you're not going crazy. If somebody around you think is dissociative or can be dissociative, know that there are things that you can do. You can talk to them. You can just help them. It's like, is this helpful? Should I sit back a little bit? Is it helpful if I come in a bit closer? Just knowing. They'll give you the information because they'll know whether or not they're getting more dissociated or less. And just having the confidence to do it for yourself, knowing that you can get yourself back, and also having the confidence if you're with someone else that you can bring them back. It's okay. They're going to be back in a safer place because 99% of the time, what is happening right now in this moment, being mindful, is way, way better than the scary thing that has been triggered or is part of the trauma. So it's always the best thing to bring yourself back, have your checklist ready, and to know that your brain and your nervous system are functioning extremely well. Your brain and your body just need help to be able to manage what's happened to them and get you back to the present where it's much safer and you feel much more in control. So I really hope that's been helpful and helped take some of the mystery and the fear factor out of dissociation. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been useful. If it has, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe below, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye!